Hello everyone, taking a video log of my ayahuasca experience. I took another journey last night. It was the most powerful one yet. Right now it's Wednesday, February 8th, 7:17 a.m. So, last night, I used a different shaman than what I'd been using previously, who I'd been using. It was very similar. He used Icaros. It's kind of like these music. The other guy, he used this kind of repetitive type of tune. This guy, he used something very similar but different, and he also was whistling a lot and shaking some leaves, very much like the other Don Lucho, my other shaman. And so, you know, the medicine was different also, tasted a little bit different, a different brew. And so the journey, you know, first I started to feel nauseous. Eventually I purged, which is throwing up, and of course I felt a lot better after that. I threw up several times. And afterwards, you know, once I had released that kind of the negative stuff, I started to see these patterns, see these very, you know, just like colorful, just lines, like they started spreading in front of me. They looked a lot like a tribal mask, or like tropical birds, like what you see. You know, some birds are very crazy, you know, especially the males. They'll have things to attract their mates with, and it resembled that. I mean, it also, well, and when I was a kid, I was ritually abused, which is basically witchcraft. I spent a lot of time in my grandmother's house. She would wear masks and different types of things that also had patterns like that. It was very scary. But I'll get into that in a few minutes. So the first thing, you know, as I saw these patterns though, and they started to spread, and the patterns came to me, and eventually, they overtook me too, my entire body, and I started to see these different parts of myself. You know, these are they're kind of related to my ego, or that are kind of these hang-ups from some of the things I've experienced. You know, and I saw them as like these appendages, and I didn't need them. You know, I started to, like, there's just things that I could release, you know, and I saw that there were other people, you know, even people like you know, like Donald Trump and stuff, you know, that also have issues like that, you know. I mean, you know, that they need to release. That's why he's such an asshole. But yeah, I mean, so that's where I was then, and as I went on, I started to go back to my past and see these terrible things, like really horrific things that happened to me when I was a kid, and I was like, I was like these little adobe huts, you know. There are all these little rooms that contain these compartments, you know, that I've just kind of tucked away, you know, so I could just be me. I could just be, you know, I could just function. But you know, and I was like, you know, I want to see, but I don't, you know. As I started to go, I was like, wait, I don't want to see this. It's too hard. But one thing that I did start to explore was that there were police officers. I was abused by police. I mean, well, it started actually. I saw like don't tell the police. You know, when I started thinking about these things, this is something that was driven into me. Like, you can't tell the police. And then I saw that I had, you know, there were these strange men that came into my grandparents' house, and I was scared, and they were police officers, and they abused me, including sexual abuse. I mean, I remember having to, you know, it's disgusting, but I had to put my mouth on a lot of different men's cocks, you know, like, it was really gross, like, as a little kid, like a tiny little kid, you know, and you know, so that's, I realized now I've kind of had this sort of thing about authority and police, and I guess that's a big part of the reason why, you know, but it's freeing, I guess, to see see all these things, you know. Like, I mean, I saw the other day that I had to abuse animals. I had to torture animals. But I also saw that I eventually resisted. I refused, no matter what the threats of consequences were. And I guess that's how I've always been in some ways. Like, I've always been, like, you know, I've always been my own person. I've always stuck to my guns about things, even if it could hurt, you know. You know, that's why I just have like strong opinions that might seem controversial or might not make much sense to people, because I don't, you know, if something's bullshit, I'm not gonna believe it, even if everyone believes it, you know, or at least if it seems like bullshit to me, if I can come up with good reasons why it is, you know. But yeah, I mean, and that's, you know, so it's given me strength, because I don't feel as much guilt. I know that I did the right thing, you know, eventually. I couldn't do it right away, but as a little kid, I was strong and I did the right thing, and that shows me that I'm a strong person, you know. Well, this video's gotten pretty long. That's all I'm going to say for now. But this has been an amazing experience. I recommend ayahuasca to anyone. I recommend the Rainforest to anyone. I've seen so many incredible things out here. Such as these bird nests. Look at these and listen to these guys. These are so cool. So that's all I'm gonna say for now. I gotta go do some Tai Chi, get some breakfast eventually, and I'm gonna go exploring the rainforest more. And I'll be